I'm about to upgrade a computer from Windows 7 to Windows 10. There's a reason why we still have it on Windows 7, and now there's a reason why we need to go ahead and upgrade it to Windows 10. I'm not going to go through those reasons for you, but here it is, January 11th, 2021. It's been quite a while since I've done an upgrade from Windows 7 to Windows 10, but I figured since I'm doing videos these days, I'll just go ahead and do a video of this one. So here's the computer. I'm already remotely connected to it. I'm going to do this upgrade to Windows 10 completely remotely. Now, back in the day when I was doing more of these, I would prefer to do an image backup of the computer before beginning the upgrade. However, this computer is a fairly simple configuration. If it blows up, I'm not too worried about having to rebuild it from scratch. So I'll point out a couple of things about how I go about doing this. Back in the day, I started, I created myself a little kind of list here of things to do when doing an upgrade. And then I also have this one over here, an upgrade click log, I called it. So I've got a few computers over in these columns. And I show the actual times of each of these different marking, these different points during the process. So by tracking this, it kind of helped me know how long the computer's going to be busy before I need to look at it again. So then let's come back to this computer then. So basically there's a little bit of cleanup to do before doing the upgrade, or at least that you should consider doing, and that is to uninstall any third-party antivirus programs and anything else that you know is a conflict. And I don't think there's anything else here. So I'm going to start this by launching Microsoft Edge. I'm going to make this full screen image to get rid of the my taskbar that was at the bottom, and then go, let's see, I prefer using Google for any search, so I'll go to, whoops, that didn't do it, that just gave me search results. Google.com will take me to the Google search field, and then let's see, what did we call it? Media creation tool. This is a fairly unique thing to search for, and that gets pretty reliably to the Microsoft Media Creation Tool, and that link will do it right there. This one looks like it'll probably do it too. So I'll go ahead and click on this one. And then here's an option for download tool now. I'll click on that. Keep in mind, I have not plugged anything into the USB port on this computer. I'm doing a live in-place upgrade to Windows 10 without using any USB memory stick, and while doing this remotely. And so that download has finished. I'll click on the media creation tool, answer yes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to switch back over to my spreadsheet, and let's see. So the date that I'm starting this is 1/11/2021, and the time 3:41. Let's see. I'm getting download tool now. I'll call that was 3:40 p.m. And license screen. Right now I've got the screen saying. There's a license screen. So let's show that. Applicable notices and licenses. Click accept. And getting a few things ready. Okay, here, this line right here says getting a few things ready. But license screen, well, I think that is what I just had. So I'm going to call that 3:41. Then there's supposed to be another click to accept license for media creation tool. That might have been what I already had. Now, let's see, click. I think this was indicating I was expecting 1 minute. Okay, so now I've got upgrade this PC now. So here's this screen. Upgrade this PC now. I'm not going to create a USB flash drive. So I'm clicking that at 3:42. I'm going to make my 3:42 time entry, but I'm not switching back to that. So I can leave this recording the process instead of recording me jumping back and forth to my spreadsheet. Downloading Windows 10, feel free to keep using your PC, and my notes indicate it's going to be 20 minutes before I need to do another click. I have different messages. I'm going to show you my messages here. So I know it's 20 minutes because I see this column here. The next spot it has an entry here is 20 minutes. So these bolded items are each place that I need to do some kind of piece of interaction. So it's going to do each of these different messages unless they've changed the way that this operates, which they certainly could have. So it's 15 minutes before it gets to this verifying your download. And here it says downloading Windows 10, feel free to keep using your PC. So I'll switch back and you see that that is where we're at right now. Downloading Windows 10, feel free to keep using your PC, and it shows a progress percentage. So I am expecting it to be 15 minutes from when this began, from when this step began, before we get to the message that says verifying your download progress. Now, there's nothing for me to do at that point. Switching back over here, verifying your download progress, it's not bolded. There's nothing in this column, which means it's going to run that for a while. And then it looks like, 12 seconds later, it's going to say creating Windows 10 media, feel free to keep using. And it's going to switch to this. Looks like, 4 minutes later, 3.5 minutes later. And then, so I have these notes here of every step along the way, if they're still doing it the way that it was last time that I ran it. So I'm going to switch back to the computer now. And I don't intend to keep talking through this whole time. So right now you see my picture-in-picture on screen. In a moment, when I'm ready to stop talking, I'm going to turn off my picture-in-picture. And that's where you know that you can use the slider at the bottom of the video window to scrub forward until you see my picture-in-picture come back. When my picture-in-picture comes back, that's when I'm going to talk again. If my picture-in-picture down there bottom right corner is not present, that means I'm not talking, and you can just scrub forward to the next time I appear. All right, so I'm going off screen and on mute. Okay, I see that my time anticipation was a little bit wrong. This is a license for installing, and let's see why my spreadsheet didn't expect this. Let's see, click down here, click to accept license for Windows operating system getting updates. Is that the window that we're on right now? License appears, waiting for click. We're getting a few things ready. I wasn't watching while this is running, so I'm not sure if this is where we're at. But anyway, I'm going to make a note of this time. And then continue. So I'll click accept and see what happens next. Choose what to keep and getting updates. Yep, that's where we're at. Here's the choose what to keep. And then getting updates. This may take a few minutes. It jumps quickly from 15% to 46%. And it looks like I'm expecting 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes. So let's see if it does that quick jump from 15% to 46%. Right now it's at 2%. So I don't really have an indication of how long it gets to 15%. So I'm going to turn my picture-in-picture off. I'm going to sit here and keep watching it. I don't know how long you had to wait for me to come back after that last place that it stopped at because I was out of the room. Okay, so here goes picture off. Okay, so that jumped straight to 20%. So it did not go from 15% to 46%. So that just shows that it is operating differently these days. And let's see, so the time that it took to get to that point where I accepted the license, where I was expecting it to be 20 minutes, that actually only took 11 minutes, and that's assuming that it wasn't at that screen for very long before I came back into the room. Now we've got the checking for updates advancing. And now we're moving on to something else, making sure you're ready to install. Yeah, and that is down here on my list. And we're expecting to see it say you're checking to see if your PC has enough space. The next thing we're expecting is making sure your PC has enough space. I'm expecting this about 358 or 359. Oh, there it is, making sure your PC has enough space. And here we go, ready to install. So that's the next thing right here. So here is making sure your PC has enough space, and then here is ready to install. You won't be able to use your PC while Windows installs. Save and close your files before you begin. To recap, you've chosen to install Windows 10 Pro, keep personal files and apps. So now I have an install button to click on. So I'm going to make my note here that I'm doing that at 3:58 p.m. And after that, I'm expecting a blue screen installing Windows 10. Your PC will restart several times. Here's some percentage numbers that I just keyed in as I was watching them. And then there's a blue screen installing Windows 10. Your PC will restart several times. And there's desktop briefly visible, then remote connection lost due to restart, then a connect again, and found it doing a percentage. Launch mode. So here 50 minutes, 50 minutes between clicking install and the next item. So again, of course, I'll be muting the microphone and turning off my picture in picture. So I've said here at 3:58, I'm clicking install. So here we go, clicking install. This is the blue screen that I was expecting that says installing Windows 10. Your PC will restart several times. This might take a while. So depending upon the speed of this computer compared to other computers, my notes indicate it's about 50 minutes. So I'm going on mute again. I'm going to turn off my picture in picture. You can watch this if you want, or just scrub forward until you see my picture come back on screen. Goodbye. Okay, so it hasn't been 50 minutes yet. So I'm showing still 20 minutes due on this, but on the possibility that this computer is faster than what was recorded in my notes, I'm going to check on this. If you've watched this, this screen here where the time field is, the computer's probably rebooted a couple times, and that would show up here. Right now, it shows that it is active and available to connect to by clicking this button for launch remote control session. So I'm going to go ahead and check to see if it's available now. There's a click. It might still have more time. Oh, it is ready. So that's great. It is clearly operating faster than my notes indicate. So let's go switch to this list here. And this is the privacy settings. Where's the privacy settings is way down here. So that was expected to be a while. So I'm going to say that is at 425. It's actually 426 now, but that probably happened. It could have been a few minutes ago. It wouldn't be right to subtract that whole 8 minutes, whatever was showing on my connection screen, because that would have been the last reboot. So we know that we're within whatever amount of time that was. See, right now, if I go back to this screen, we see we've been connected for 10 minutes. So it was less than 10 minutes, more likely 4 minutes or so that it was available at this screen. So my routine here is turn off online speech, find my device, no, inking and typing, no, advertising ID I typically leave on, location I'll leave on, diagnostic data I switch that to basic. Well, okay, so for this is Windows Pro, so it's saying send required diagnostic data, whereas I think it's Windows Home that says basic or full. So the wording of that is a little bit different. I think tailored experiences, I turn that to no, and then click accept. And then here is Windows 10. It's done. Successful upgrade to Windows 10. Broadcom Bluetooth software is no longer available. This app was removed from your PC because it doesn't work on Windows 10. That's okay. We don't need Bluetooth for this computer. So I'm clicking to dismiss that and see if it comes up with another message. Is it just taking a while to dismiss that or what? Those buttons aren't highlighting when I float the mouse over here. Well, I see a spinning circle next to the mouse pointer, so that indicates it's still busy doing something. So I'm going to give it a little more time to see if it did. Yep, there, it dismissed that message window, and there's still more icons showing up down here. I saw OneDrive show up. Looks to me like that is done. So I'm going to click on the Windows button and type update space settings. That's my favorite way to get into the update settings window. And I'm going to check for updates. Because that media creation tool installed based upon what Microsoft has put in that media creation tool, it's not necessarily doesn't necessarily have the most current updates, and you can see right here it is doing more updates. While that's running, I'm going to take a look back at my spreadsheet and see, yeah, I didn't have any notes on my spreadsheet about updates. So that total time was, let's see, 20 minutes, 45 minutes, including the time that I failed to be present. So I'm making a note here. I was trying to say 45 minutes, but it came out to 45 hours. So I'm going to put 0:45 5:00 and see if that'll give me 45 minutes. Yeah. Total time without idle time. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about trying to estimate the amount of time that I wasn't back to the desk soon enough, because I don't expect to be doing a whole lot of these. So now there's a restart now button, and I'm looking to see if there's not, no, it's still installing something. So I'm not going to click restart until it has installed everything that is available right here to install. Down here on the system tray, we see a yellow dot on this, I don't even know what to call that icon. It has the refresh arrows, on a icon that looks like the outline of the Windows icon. And the yellow dot is indicating that this computer needs to be restarted to finish installing updates. Sometimes that dot is red. If it's really trying to get your attention, it should first turn yellow and then turn red. And if you come over to the Windows button and click on that and then come up to the power button, it's really slow responding because it's busy. I'm assuming that's why it's being slow responding. And try left click again. I saw the Windows button depress. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. I'm asking too much of the poor computer, I guess. Okay, I'm going to go off camera again and on mute until something else happens worth talking about. Okay, there just finished the installation of that cumulative update. And both of these options are saying pending restart, so I'll click restart now. So this is going to kick me back to the Log Me and Rescue console screen. And up here it says 25 minutes connected. That's going to reset to 0 in a moment as it's restarting. This launch remote control session would not get us anywhere because the computer is still essentially shutting down, and it's probably actually has a message on its screen right now about installing updates and showing a percentage. So that could go for a while before this time resets to 0. Once it resets to 0, that indicates it is restarting, but then there may be another period of time while it's there we got a reboot message right here. And then that just went to 0. It looks like it actually went to 06. This launch remote control session button is not available yet. It should become available possibly while the computer is still installing updates, meaning I can connect to it oftentimes. Here it comes, I think. There. And still see the percentage of the update installing sometimes. Yeah, there we go. Working on updates, 89%. Now cleaning up, 0%. Then jump to 50%. There's 100%. And there we have the desktop. Now I have a checklist of things that I normally do when I'm setting up a Windows 10 computer. I'm not going to go refer to that checklist for this computer because this computer has one purpose in life. One of the staff members of this office connects remotely to the computer and does proofreading of medical transcripts. So she doesn't browse the internet or that was the 50-minute alarm that just rang on my phone. She doesn't browse the internet. She doesn't do any word processing, doesn't do anything else with this computer. So I'm just going to do a few things here. I'll just turn off Cortana, turn off task view, remove the shopping cart, Microsoft Store, and remove Microsoft Mail. I can leave Google and ChiraTouch. That's the program that she uses. And there's an extra Microsoft Edge here, so I'll remove that. And move this Google Chrome over here, which is totally irrelevant again because this person's not going to be using that. Is there anything over here I want to get rid of? No. I think that's fine for that for now. So that's all there is to this video. I hope that was useful to you. Goodbye. Gotta find the right stop record button.